happy to be alive. Like I can do anything.
All right, boys and girls, we here for that story time. Who ready to hear? Today, we have a special story brought to you by our boy, Master Teck. What you got today for us, homie?
Alright, so everybody know, man, I got more stories than a smoker, right? But I don't like smoking dope, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
So the tale today is a story about the great one. Years ago, when I was in my younger days, I was fortunate enough to travel to Germany for a little while. And I met a gentleman, and for this story, we're going to call him the Great One. And I learned a lot about his culture. And even though I was in Germany, he wasn't German. He wasn't from there, but he moved to that land and he appreciated that land. But he told me a story when I met him because I am an American.
Okay.
So he told me a story about a couple gentlemen, and for this story, we're going to call them Jacob and Scott. Jacob and Scott were also Americans, and they came over to his land for one reason or another. But they came over to the land maybe, to work, to do anything, to see the land or whatnot. But, when they came over, I don't think the gentleman really appreciated the land because, the Great One would tell him so many different tales about, what happened on this land before he got here, things of his ancestors and all that stuff. But I think these gentlemen more so cared about, the partying aspect of his land or whatnot. So Jacob and Scott, they went out one evening. And I think they got a little too messed up. They got a little too drunk. Probably indulged in drugs. And
everybody love a little something.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's okay if you love a little something. But when you get too much and get too deep into it, you can get yourself in trouble. So what happened was not a Great One. Don't get me wrong. He's a family man. You know what I mean? He has a wife, kid, and all that other stuff. So Jacob and Scott end up calling him one night about 3 o'clock in the morning because they went out that night and they got a little too drunk. They missed the train back home. They didn't have a hotel room. They couldn't do anything. They were just stuck. So, the Great One told them, was like, I told you guys, when you're over here, how to carry yourself and how to do certain things and, how to treat this land. You have to appreciate where you at. But where these gentlemen were at, they were about 2-hour train ride away from the Great One. Now, the Great One could have driven his vehicle to go and pick these guys up because he has a car. But a lesson had to be taught to these gentlemen. You have to appreciate where you're at. And now, don't get me wrong, the Great One, this isn't even his homeland. This isn't his birthplace. He traveled here, and now this is the place that he lives at, and he appreciates his land or whatnot. But he taught those guys a very wise story and wise tale is that I can't help you. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what those guys did. He told them, I'm in bed with my wife and my kid, and I can't help you. So he hung up the phone, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, man.
I mean, I know those guys survived, but how they survived, I don't know. But, I mean, I guess this would be a tale for anybody, we're looking to do some traveling to different countries and all that stuff, and I know different people come to our country and whatnot, but...
Oh, yeah, we might be coming to your country first.
But wherever you go at, appreciate everywhere you go at, appreciate everything around you, and...
Show respect.
Show respect to everything, you know what I'm saying? We want to indulge in certain things, but at the end of the day, don't come to my country, don't come to Savannah, don't come here messing nothing up. Don't be kicking over none of my signs, don't be pissing in none of my bushes. You come here and you respect the wildlife and the greenery that's here.
Because this is Tree City, and we love our greenery.
And honestly, by a lot of Americans going over to different countries and such, unfortunately, we get a bad rap just because of what people do over there. They think that once they're outside the country, they can just do whatever they want, and it won't get tracked back. You are sadly and wrongly mistaken.
Exactly.
Everything you do, whether you want to think about it or not, you are literally like the representation of America.
Right. That's right.
So everything that you do will track back over here. So please, people, whenever you want to travel, at least look up some information about the places that you want to go to, the things that you should and should not do. as a way of showing respect, and try to speak their language a little bit. Right. That would at least show.
So little, man.
That would at least show the people that live out there that you are at least trying, and at least you show an appreciation to their culture.
To their culture, exactly right. And I think that's the main thing, because the Great One didn't see them that night when they were doing what they were doing. But people that lived in the town saw whatever happened, whatever took place. So when they look at them as Americans and they see another American at another time, they're going to refer back to that memory. But you don't want to give people that. You want to carry yourself a certain way. But, I don't know. All I'm saying is...
That's the moral of the story.
Alright, boys and girls. The moral of the story is, when it comes to respecting cultures, other walks of life, other places of land, respect. Show respect. Always show respect, because everybody's watching you.
And we do mean everybody.
Everybody. Peace.
We out.
All I'm saying.